Hey guys, welcome to another video and welcome to 20 films Roger Ebert got wrong. I love me some Siskel and Ebert. Yes, when I was younger, I used to watch Siskel and Ebert at the movies. I was young, like 6, 7 years old. There was reruns on it on television. Loved it. That was great. Very entertaining. Never really listened to them because I'm a kid. So, always loved it. And Roger Ebert is always been known as like one of the great critics. Like he's the most famous critic of all time. Some people call him the best film critic ever. He's not, but I am a fan. I am a fan. I don't agree with him quite a bit of the time, but I do enjoy him. I think he's a very insightful man. I loved him, his bickering with Gene Siskel. I agreed more with Siskel than Ebert, but they were fun to watch, and I loved Roger Ebert. And when he passed away, it was sad, and I can't help it. I liked his energy, and I liked his insights on film. And this one, I want to talk about films that I don't agree with him on. And I did this with 20 films critics got wrong, 20 films audiences got wrong, and everyone's like, do Roger Ebert now, because Roger Ebert is a big critic. So these are 20 films I think Roger Ebert got wrong. I'm going to be doing 10 films that he was positive on, and I don't think he should have been positive on, and then there's 10 films he was negative on, which I really don't think he should have been negative on. So let's start with the positive. First film he liked, and I kind of understand, but I don't agree with. It's The Golden Compass. The Golden Compass is a fantasy film. It's got Eva Green, Nicole Kidman, and it started this try to be like a Narnia, Harry Potter, and all that stuff, but it was not great. Visually it was good, but not an interesting story. The characters aren't interesting, and I don't know, they put too much, but also not enough. If you want to watch a Golden Compass done right, watch his Dark Materials. It's better. So Ebert praised it. I don't agree with him. I can see where he was kind of coming from, but I don't agree with it. This one, though, on the other hand, I don't know what he was smoking, and that's Speed 2 Cruise Control. He actually gave this movie a fucking good review, and I don't understand. I guess he thought it was just a fun movie, just like the first one. It's not. It's a terribly edited, horribly made film. Sandra Bullock is awful. I don't see where any enjoyment is. The action is some of the worst action I've ever seen. And the editing and the shots were so bad. It was just bad, and I don't understand why he liked it so much. But that's the thing about opinion. It's all opinion, but don't agree with it. Next is Best Picture winner Crash. Him and Richard Roper both gave this one a thumbs up. Great movie. No, it even made his best that year, 2005, I think. Ugh, terrible film. Terrible film. That's all I gotta say. Just terrible film. I guess maybe at the time people were liking it, but ugh. Another one is 2012. Yeah, Roger Ebert liked this movie. It's stupid, Mayan calendar, apocalyptic movie. John Cusack in a limo going through buildings. Roland Emmerich, he was very nice when it comes to some Roland Emmerich movies, and I don't know why, but 2012 is a bad movie. Oh. Another one that's a disaster movie that he liked was Knowing. What? Terrible film. Nick Cage tries to be more serious in this film, but it's ridiculous. It's an asinine plot. It's just so bad. Shitty child performances. What a dumb ending. And I don't know. The idea could have been good, but maybe if it was more of a comedy. Another one he liked was Cars 2. The worst Pixar film literally ever made. The film nobody wanted. Focusing on a character that everyone mostly hates. And it's a spy movie instead of a racing movie. Fuck Cars 2. Another one he liked was Land of the Lost. Just another generic fantasy adventure that no one remembers. No, who remembers? Who actually remembers this movie? Or gives a fuck about this movie? I don't. Next was the Hitman movie with Timothy Olyphant. I'll admit I liked it when it first came out. But upon rewatching it more and more, I started to really did not like it, especially playing the video games. Great games. Oof, this movie sucks. And who knows, maybe over time, maybe he also didn't like the movie, but he gave a positive review of it when it came out, so sure. Another one that was just baffling is Home Alone 3. He liked. Ooh. I think this is the worst Home Alone movie. Yeah, even almost maybe worse than Home Sweet Home Alone, which is the second worst. Home Alone 3 is just has no ounce of fun. The traps make no sense. The parents leaving the kid makes no sense. Nothing makes sense in this movie, and just even as a kid, I hated it. And yeah, I don't understand how anyone could like it, but Ebert does. Another one. This is the one I understand the most because this has a huge fan base. Just I'm not a personal huge fan of it, and that's Space Jam. I know him and Cisco both liked this movie a lot. I definitely like it a little more now because of New Legacy. It was so bad. I'm like, oh, Space Jam is like a fucking masterpiece for that piece of shit movie. But I still don't think it's that great of a film, so yeah. Now the films he was negative on. Well, firstly, it's my favorite film of all time, Blade Runner. Him and Cisco did not like it. They didn't think it was interesting. They didn't like the characters. They didn't like the story. They just thought it was visually stunning, but that's really it. Which sucks. For one thing, they saw the theatrical cut, so maybe they'd feel different if they saw the final cut. But next is Die Hard. He didn't like. Who doesn't like Die Hard? It's fucking Die Hard. I think you call it like a generic by the numbers action film. No way. It's Die Hard. Another one he didn't like was The Color of Money. He hated the opening, and then Scorsese had to change the opening. They just thought it was because Cisco and Ebert just loved Scorsese, so this was like low tier Scorsese for them. And even Martin Scorsese was just shocked that they didn't like it that much. So, which sucks because I love The Color of Money. Another one he didn't like was Gladiator. Fucking Gladiator. This is another fucking movie. Sorry, guys. Gladiator was just amazing. One of my favorite films of all time. It's Ridley Scott's one of his best films. I guess he didn't like some Swords and Sandals movies. I don't know. Another one he didn't like was Fight Club, but I'm not shocked because most critics didn't like this movie when it came out. They thought it was very despicable, unlikable, very just bleak and dark. They didn't like the messaging, but now it's like this huge cult following and people love it, but he did not. Next was John Carter's The Thing. Again, I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. This is an amazing film. It was one of the best horror endings ever. This is my favorite horror film of all time, so I don't get it. Next is Starship Troopers, which is one I understand why he didn't like it. Because, again, a lot of people didn't like it. They just thought it was a stupid, dumb monster movie with big bugs. But as, like, it got this, again, cult following, and people were understanding what its message was about military and stuff. Like, it has great commentary about the American military and about the government and all this stuff. It's a very smart film, actually, and I think Starship Troopers is fantastic. This one I don't get, though. Dead Poet Society. Didn't like Dead Poet Society that much. I'm like, what? This is one of Robin Williams' best movies. His performance is amazing. He's one of the coolest teachers ever. I know he talked about in the review that he's like one of the worst teachers ever and not realistic. I'm like, well, it's a fucking movie. Great movie, though. Robin Williams is incredible. I love the performances from all the kids, especially Robert Sean Leonard and Ethan Hawke. I love it. But, I don't know. You have no heart, Ebert. Next is The Usual Suspects. This is like his most popular one where he didn't like it and people were like, what? I guess he just thinks the movie's only good because the twist is so good. And I can kind of see where he's coming from on that one, but I still think the movie still holds up. I still think Kevin Spacey and Benicio del Toro and all of the performances are really good. Even Chaz Palminteri is great, and the twist is still fantastic. It's a great thriller, and it's a great mystery, and it's a twist that you don't see coming. I still think The Usual Suspects is a great film, but I could see why someone wouldn't like it. Lastly, though, don't understand this one. Groundhog Day. Didn't like Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. This is just amazing film. It's my favorite Bill Murray movie with Ghostbusters. Like, fucking great Groundhog Day. I know he said too many unlikable characters and just he didn't like the town and he didn't like the gimmick of it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's one of the funniest movies. It's got great ideas. One of the best writing Harold Ramis has ever done. I love Groundhog Day. And I love Bill Murray's performance in it. And I think it's a beautiful romantic story as well. And it's got one of my favorite character arcs for a character. It turns an unlikable character into actually very likable and helpful and meaningful character. I love Groundhog Day. But he didn't. Those are all the films that I just think Roger Ebert, he got wrong. Like, I don't understand, but that's the beauty of film. That's the beauty of an opinion. Everyone's got one, and everyone has some wonky ideas. That's okay. Like, I still like Roger Ebert. I still look up to Roger Ebert. Even though I think he's completely wrong about all these 20 films, but that was his opinion. That's how he felt about them. Which is okay. So yeah, what are 20 films that Roger Ebert has? What are 20 film opinions Roger Ebert has that you disagree with? Let me know in the comment section below. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and join the dark side.